Hello, and welcome to The Ganru Show. I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this is a podcast that's just like hanging out with your two best girlfriends. In today's episode, which we call The Feels, we are here to celebrate Christmas, because today's Christmas. Merry Christmas! Woo!
It's like eggnog without the salmonella.
Ooh. Eesh. It's like, what is it like? Oh, it's like eating fruitcake, but the fruitcake tastes like pumpkin cheesecake.
It's like not getting that Snuggie for Christmas, unless that's what you like.
No, freak. I mean, unless that's what you like.
Yeah, right.
No judgment.
In today's episode, you'll find out why Golda and I will be battling it out in the old folks' home.
And you'll also find out why Wanru can never eat apple filling again without the waterworks. So, let's get started.
It's Christmas Day here in the United States.
Yay! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Can you tell how happy Golda is?
Yay! I love Christmas time.
It actually warms her to the very, very bottom of her soul, right?
To my cold, heartless soul.
For one day a year, she has all the good feelings.
Yay! Good feels.
Good feels. And that's what we wanted to give to you today, our listeners, is an episode filled with feel-good stories.
Yay! Really feel good.
Because what goes better with hot cocoa and leftovers and
Eggnog.
Eggnog and toasty slippers.
Yeah. Or, I do this as we click on the TV and we click on the fireplace.
Oh.
With the embers.
The Yule log, Christmas
The Yule
log.
log. Although when Thanksgiving happened, there was a Yule log on the Hallmark Channel, but they switched things up and they introduced kittens.
Nice.
Next to the Yule log. Not in the Yule log.
What?
They weren't burning the kittens.
What, like a split screen?
No, the kittens were like playing in the front of the fire with like yarn, and they're trying to get into like boxes and stuff. It was so cute.
I'm concerned. Are they kept at a safe distance from the fireplace?
Safe enough. I didn't see any tinged with fire kittens. Yes, I think it was far enough, but it was so cute.
I gotcha. But what could go better with the cozy Yule log than kittens? And what can go better with Christmas than stories that restore your faith in humanity?
Yeah.
And that make you feel all the good feels.
Yeah, and I think that these types of stories abound, right? Anytime you open your Facebook or Instagram or anything, you see these little snippets of things that people do to help the world be a better place. So we wanted to focus in on a couple of things. And then Wanru, I believe you're going to share something personal.
Yes.
To give people the feels. That's what we're trying to accomplish here, is to give people the feels.
Exactly. All right.
Yes.
So what is the first story that you plucked out of real life, right?
Yes. What I plucked out of real life is sad, but also very, very inspiring.
Oh my God, I'm getting ready for it. Okay, go.
Oh, here come the waterworks.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So
Bracing myself.
here are the feels. There is a woman by the name of Kate Munger who lives in Northern California, and she was an elementary school music teacher. And one day she visited her friend Larry, who was dying of AIDS. And she would help take care of him. So she would help weed his garden. She'd wash his dishes. And she would sit with him. And he was, of course, not feeling very well. And, she would bring him plants. And he was very agitated, right? Obviously. And he was feeling very uncomfortable. And she didn't know what to do to help him. So because she was a music teacher, she decided to sing for him. And so she sang for him a little song, a simple song called Hello Moon.
Aww.
And she began to softly sing to him. And he began to stop writhing. He was listening. He looked a lot more peaceful. And she continued to sing for him for several hours. And he was in a very peaceful place. He was not in an uncomfortable state anymore. And she kept doing that for some time. And then 4 days later, he passed away.
Oh my goodness.
So from that experience, she learned the power of music and how it can help individuals who are suffering and who might be experiencing the last days of their lives. So what she ended up doing was she created a choir called the Threshold Choir.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is, they have 100 chapters of this choir in the United States, several in Canada, Europe, Australia, and Southeast Asia.
Wow.
And basically what they do, what their goal is they gather together these singers, some trained, not so much trained, and they learn different songs, and they find out folks who might be at their last days, and they find out a little bit about them and about what kind of music that they like and what they would want to hear. And they cater a program to these individuals, and they sing to them, in their last final days, and hopefully get them in a state where they feel much more at peace, much more
comforted.
Comforted, yeah, I think is a big part. Not as fearful.
Yeah.
And they're volunteers.
Do they go to people's homes, or do they go to convalescent homes, or do they go hospitals?
Yeah, they go wherever the patient is. So hospices, hospitals, homes, convalescent homes,
wow,
wherever, and that's what they do. I thought that was really wonderful. That someone's personal experience with their own friend really sparked this idea and helping people on a wider scale. And something so simple like learning a few songs to help someone become more comforted in their final days. So that was one of my feel-good stories.
Aww.
And I think what it helped me with was to show how, sometimes just by the simplest acts, how much that can help someone. And sometimes that's all it takes is just these simple things, right? And then just the willingness and the passion to do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. What is the name of the organization again?
Threshold Choir.
Oh, amazing.
Run by Kate Munger of Northern California.
So if you like singing, that's a great organization to get involved in.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a great way if you're looking for a way to volunteer and utilizing something that you know how to do or that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
What a great combination.
If I was ever in the unfortunate position of being ill and towards the end of my life, which a lot of us will find ourselves in, I would be the most demanding patient.
Yeah, how so?
I would ask them. I already know what I want.
Oh, what do you want?
I want a Maroon 5 medley.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This love has taken its toll on me.
Sunday morning, I forgot the rest. Sugar, yeah, please. I hope they sing better than I do.
Yes.
I know none of the words.
In several like harmonies, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe bring a harmonica.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I take it back.
Okay.
I don't want them anymore.
Okay.
We've actually
You
tried
changed
it
your
out.
mind?
I changed my mind. See, I would be very demanding.
Oh.
Okay.
I would be like, I would like some early Britney, please.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Baby, can't you see? I'm falling. A guy like you. This is a warning. I'm dangerous. And they would have to do the uhs and all that. Yeah. I would be demanding too.
And the dance as well?
Yes. Full choreography and lights, but no fog machine because that's bad for my respiratory system.
It interferes with my oxygen. I already know it's going to interfere with my oxygen.
Yes.
No, I was going to say, really, Britney. Early Britney?
Early Britney.
Oh
not
my God.
later. That's trash.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I change it up. I might want Bruno Mars.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Uptown. I mean, man.
How can you not want to go out with Britney Mars?
With Bruno.
There it is. Hey, there's a combo.
Hey,
there's a ticket.
Mashup.
So me and Wanru will be at Shady Pines convalescent home in the same room.
Yes, we will.
Bickering. And it's a 2-for-1 special if the choir wants to come and do a little Britney and a little Bruno.
Of course, we're going to be in the same room. And as soon as they come in, we'll be like, I got a request.
You better be doing Britney first. I don't want to hear that Bruno Mars trash.
No, Britney is just a 2-bit hussy.
She's a survivor is what she is.
How
You
come?
take that back, old lady.
By the way, why do I talk like an old lady from like 1925?
Yeah, I'm not even from the South. And I'm speaking with a Southern accent.
Why are you Southern all of a
Why
sudden?
do all old people sound like they're from the South? Is it because of Cocoon, the movie? Didn't that take place? Anyway.
Yeah.
So that was mine.
Wow.
That was one of mine. What about you, Wanru? What's your feel good story?
So sometimes you think kids are just little shits. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. All right.
And about 95% of the time, that's true.
Right.
Sorry, children's.
I actually love children. I'm a big fan of children of all ages.
I do not.
And Golda.
I'm just kidding. No, I love kids.
She is. She does.
To an extent.
To a limit.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you're like, man, they're unbearable. But then they'll do something that touches the very cockles of your heart.
Oh, what did those little punks do for you?
So I'll tell you. So I used to be a student instructor at the Lawrence Hall of Science, which is a children's science museum.
Oh, where at?
At UC Berkeley.
Ooh.
And
fancy.
Not that fancy. It's very rundown facility, but it's okay. We had good science workshops, and we used to run a science day camp. Okay, so every day the kids would come in. I would have to teach them something, and then they'd go home. It's just no sleeping over. It was just like a day camp. Okay, and I love science, but man, kids were just running all over me because I'm so passive. I just cannot enforce the rules. I'm too lenient.
Okay.
And they take advantage of that, and I enable them, and it's just like a bad situation. Okay. So one day we were supposed to build these solar cookers. It looks like 5 pieces of aluminum foil, and it forms a funnel. And then inside the funnel, you would put a baby food jar.
Oh, I bet you said a baby. What kind of things are they teaching in these science centers?
No, you don't put the kitten in the fire, and you don't put the baby in the solar cooker. Yeah, don't do that. Okay. We are not advising that.
No.
But we would put a baby food jar in there, and whatever you put in there gets really hot. It actually cooks it.
Okay.
So all these kids made a solar cooker.
Cool.
Okay. And then what they would do is in the class, they would assemble the cooker. They would chop up apples and cinnamon and sugar, make a little apple pie filling. They put it in the baby jar, and we take this whole thing outside and we set it up in the sun so we could cook for like 20 minutes.
Cool.
Okay, cool, right? So everyone's solar cooker was outside, and I've got 20 minutes to kill. I mean, I sure could give them a lesson about infrared heat and transference of light.
Okay.
Instead, I said, hey, do you guys want to spin around? I'll lift you up by your armpits and I'll spin you around. I don't know why.
How many kids are there?
A lot, like 13 kids.
Wow, what a workout.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Became very dangerous. So I did one, and these are all like 9-year-old kids, 8-year-old kids. So they're not that heavy. So the first one, I spun him around. He had a great time. And then he was squealing with delight. Then the next little girl comes up, and then like a line forms, right?
Oh no.
And
you're
like,
my sciatica.
Yeah. And Wanru's getting dizzy.
Oh no.
I'm getting really dizzy. But I don't want to disappoint them, so I keep spinning these kids around by their armpits, and they're all squealing with delight, and they all want to do it, and I feel bad if I exclude one. But I got so dizzy. I was spinning this little girl around. We'll call her Amber. I forgot her real name. Okay, so I'm spinning Amber around by her armpits.
Cute.
Oh, sorry, I have it mixed up. I was spinning a little boy around. We'll call him Michael.
Okay.
Okay, and Michael he's a little punk. Okay, so but I was spinning him around, and he was squealing with delight. And this very sweet girl named Amber was waiting in line, just waiting her turn.
Yeah.
And I smash Michael's feet into her chest,
no.
and she falls down.
Whoops! Whoopsie daisy!
Like a slingshot, or nobody call it. What are those things you swing around?
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Like, swinging a thing on a rock, and then it's like a weapon, right?
Yeah.
I used Michael's feet, and I smashed him into her chest.
Oh.
And she was like, oof, and she fell to the ground.
Boo-boo.
Oh my God. And you could tell she really wanted to cry because it probably hurt, but she held it back.
Aww.
I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? I ran over, and she was like, I'm okay. Okay.
Poor
And she tried to hold it up. And I was like, okay, guys, spinning time is over. Let's check our solar cookers, all right? Let's check our solar cookers, all right? So all the kids dispersed and they went to their solar cookers. They dismantled them and very carefully they opened the baby food jar. And inside is like an apple pie filling.
Ooh,
yeah, it's
yummy.
like cooked apples. And then all the kids opened them up and you can just see the like animals. They also started eating it. And it was hot. And
too hot.
Whatever. They just started shoving this hot apple pie filling in their mouth. And Amber did something really weird. She took out a napkin and she poured it in a napkin and then she like folded it up. And I was like, oh, maybe she doesn't like it. I had no idea why she did that, but I did see her do that. Okay. And then the kids like had apple pie filling all over their face and it was a mess. And we ran back in and it was almost time to go home. So the parents came and picked them up. And then, you know, one by one, the kids leave. And as soon as Amber saw her mom, she ran to her mom and she started bawling. And she was crying so hard that she couldn't breathe. You know how kids go, you know, they're trying to talk, but like they're crying so hard. And her mom goes, what's wrong? What's wrong? Her mom is, by the way, her mom is a tiger mom, okay? She's not Asian, but she could very well.
Don't mess with her.
Yeah. And I immediately rush over because I'm like, she's going to talk about how I smashed Michael's feet into her chest. And so I have to explain. I got to cover myself here. So I went up to her mom and I was like, hi, so today we were playing and we had a little incident. And Amber goes, no. But she was saying no, but she couldn't talk. Okay, because she was crying so hard. And I said, so we were playing. I think what Amber's trying to say is that she got hurt because a boy's foot somehow ended up. I don't know
mysteriously. Flew at her.
Some boy's foot ended up impacting her chest. How that happened, I don't know. And her mom goes, what are you talking about? And she lifts up Amber's shirt and there's 2 boys' footprints on her chest.
Oh no.
Red ones, like the size of 2 boys' shoes. Like boom.
Ouch.
And it was red. And I was like, oh my God. And then Amber's like, no. And she pulls down her shirt. Okay. So she's very upset, but we couldn't understand why. Finally, she gets it out and she holds up her napkin. And it's like mostly empty. It has a few apple pieces. I'm gonna cry. And she goes, Mommy, I wanted you to taste the apples. Amber, are you okay? Are you thinking I have a napkin? She goes, Mommy, I wanted you to taste the apple pieces, but a boy knocked it down.
Baba.
Amber. Ooh, okay.
What a sweet child. So she wasn't even paying attention to her own pain. She was more concerned with the fact that her mom couldn't have some of the apples. What a sweet kid.
What a sweet little girl.
Did she grow up to be like a senator? I hope so.
I have no idea.
Let's look her up.
Maybe she's like an Instagram model now and a total hussy. She's like, don't ever do anything good for anybody because it never works out anyways. You wait in line.
You wait in line to get twirled around. And what happens? But your feet come flying at you and hits you in the stomach and chest area. And then you have no food left over and you starve.
And then you save your apples for your mom and some boy knocks it out of your hand. Anyways, that's what happened.
That's the lesson.
She had put the apples in a napkin. Aww. And then I guess some kid had bumped into her. So all the apples fell to the ground. The ones she didn't even eat it so her mom could try it.
Poor boo-boo.
Anyways.
What a great story.
Oh, so that's what happened. Every time I think about it, I want to cry because it's like...
so sweet.
Where did she learn to be so selfless?
You know, I marvel at that all the time. You know, as you know, we do our Christmas caroling, right? Every year. And one year, actually a good friend of ours came with his family and daughter, and actually Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
And she had never gone to a senior center before because we carol at a local senior center here. And we, including her parents, were just amazed. We thought, because, you know, this is not the easiest thing for someone so young. She was like 8, 9 years old. Ooh, maybe less, maybe like 7. Anyway, she was really, really young at the time. And we were going around the different rooms. So what we do is we walk to every room, we stop at every room, and then we sing, right? And these, senior citizens, who are like in their 80s and up, sometimes they're not in the best of health. And to a little kid, I'm sure that might be a little scary. Because, they're like, got their mouth open, they're on ventilators or whatever, or maybe they're not, they suffer from dementia or something like that. And then the smells, are it's very kind of clinical smelling, So, I was a little worried about bringing this little 7-year-old to Carol, but her parents were like, no, we want her to do this. And we were so like surprised at how well she took everything. Like, so we make ornaments, and she took an ornament, and she was like the little elf.
Oh,
like she walked up with no fear, walked up to these older individuals and handed them their ornament that we made for them just hours before. And she's like, "Merry Christmas." And there was no fear.
Yeah, she was great.
There's no like tentativeness. There was nothing like that. It was as if she felt like she was there to help, and she had to be strong to help these folks. It was really something. I was really impressed. I was like, wow, she's acting so much more mature and selfless than many adults that I've seen.
Yeah.
Ever,
because the rest of us were going, oh, you.
Yeah, we're like, ooh,
yucky.
When do we get out of here? No. But, I was really amazed. And I think that there are just those kids that just have that like sensibility. I mean, that's the parents, of course, too, that have this influence. But
so to wrap up to wrap up the Amber story. So what happened was, as soon as I realized it was about the apple pieces and not the 2 footprints on her chest,
you're like, oh, thank God, I'm not going to get sued.
Exactly. I was like, okay, so we're good, right? So we're good. And I just like walked away.
So you just got to sign this waiver right here? How sweet. Can you sign this?
If I ever see like an adult woman, she would probably be like 22 now.
Oh.
And then she's wearing like a low shirt. If I ever see 2 footprints, like scars.
She had them made as tattoos.
If this happened to you, or you know of anybody,
if you're Amber, or that wasn't her real name, right?
Right. I don't know what her name was, and if this sounds at all familiar to you,
hey, this is the teacher,
and you sent your kid to the Lawrence Hall of Science for a science summer camp.
Yep.
And you had the apple thing happen to you, contact me, Amber.
Aww.
I'd love to be reconnected with you.
So sweet.
So that's my story.
That is a great story.
Restored my
that
faith in those annoying little kids.
Yeah, and what I really love about these stories that we're sharing are how, like, just in the circle of life, right? And in life and your circumstances, how there are so many that you see, like so many examples of kindness and good-heartedness. And I think that's contagious, meaning to say you see those things or you hear about those things, and hopefully that inspires you to also want to produce an act of kindness as well. Not pay it forward mentality, right? So wonderful story.
Yeah.
I had this one that I was like, another waterworks one. I don't know if this is a feel good or if this is it's called the good cry episode. Have a good cry. So this story is a quick one, but there was a woman who Hayden Hatfield Riles is her name.
Okay.
And she donated bone marrow anonymously. And come to find out that the recipient of that bone marrow was a small 3-year-old child.
Yeah.
So the bone marrow that Hayden Hatfield Riles donated actually saved the life of a 3-year-old by the name of Sky Savrin McCormick.
Okay.
And saved her life. Life-saving bone marrow transplant.
Bone marrow transplants are usually given to kids who have bone cancer.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, obviously, their bone marrow, it has become infected with cancer, so they need to use drugs and radiation to kill off their bone marrow. But you need a healthy donor to transplant it.
Yeah.
It's like an organ. It's like an organ, like a liver or kidney or something. But there are very, very few matches. It has to be like a very,
identical, right?
Yeah, it's like a very high degree of match between the donor and the child. So that's amazing. They got matched.
And I believe too that if you are a donor, not to dissuade anybody from donating bone marrow, but it's not the most pleasant process to get the bone marrow.
Oh, interesting. I've actually heard the opposite. But we could talk a little bit about that afterwards.
We should definitely find that out because hey, donate some bone marrow, people. It's really easy.
Well, let's hear about how bone marrow donation can change a person's life.
So basically at the end of the day, the bone marrow donation saved the life of Sky Savrin McCormick.
Yay.
And then fast forward a bit of time and Hayden Hatfield Riles becomes engaged.
Okay.
And she has she's going to have her wedding and she invites Sky.
Aww.
And Sky becomes the flower. What's that? Flower girl of her wedding.
Oh my god!
So she's able to be part of the wedding for her. So she was able to so now they're incorporated in each other's families.
Oh my god!
Isn't that something? So I mean, it's like she helped this little girl. At least extend her life for a couple of years. And now she, is part of another family in addition to her own.
Wow.
Isn't that lovely?
That's amazing.
I love that. So that's a short,
that's so sweet.
A short feel good. But again, it's like if there's ways that you can give or to help someone else out.
Yeah.
I mean, the what is that? The ricochet effect of helping one person
paying
out.
It forward or something.
Yeah, is enormous.
Ripple effect.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect.
And for the record, because I used to work at a cancer hospital, what they do is they actually, for the bone marrow retrieval, they actually put you under anesthesia, so you'll be asleep. And
so it's the spine, right?
So it's actually the hip. So they would come in kind of in your lower back or upper butt area, and they'd put a big needle in there. And they'd suck out what looks like blood. It's bone marrow. And it can be painful, but of course they will anesthetize the area. But for those who like to be put asleep, they just put them to sleep. You wake up an hour later.
Bingo, bango, boombo. All good to go.
And you just save someone's life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of discomfort, maybe half a day off work.
Exactly.
No problem.
Yeah. And on top of that, when I registered to be a bone marrow donor, I had to give like 2 tubes of blood, but now they make it so easy. You can actually request a kit, and we'll find that information. We'll try to put it in our show notes from the bone marrow registry. They'll mail it to you. You swab your mouth, you put it in the thing, you mail back the envelope, and you will be on the bone marrow registry. And especially if you are a person from an ethnic group which is not commonly represented, it is crucial that you get registered, especially if you're of mixed race as well.
Yeah.
Because what happens is they're trying to look for a genetic match. And certain ethnic groups just don't have that many people registered.
Right. Yeah.
So by increasing the number of people that are registered, so if you're Asian, I'm Asian, we're Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're Southeast Asian, South Asian, those are some really critical populations that need bone marrow registered. So that's our little PSA.
Yeah. I think there's an organization, I believe, called A3M.
Yes.
That does a lot of really good work with bone marrow donors. And check them out. We'll include them on the show notes.
And for those who are afraid of the bone marrow donation process, I totally get it. Just to let you know, you will regenerate it in a few weeks. It's not like donating an organ. It's actually like donating blood. It's very renewable.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. You'll be fine.
You're like a lizard that gets the tail cut off.
No, that's
come back.
No, it's a horrible analogy.
Is that a bad analogy?
That's like that's scary. That's scary.
It's not like that bad.
It's like,
forget I said it.
It's like getting like a vial of blood. How's that?
Okay, yeah, it's easy.
Easy.
No problem.
Easy. And another miraculous.
Just do it.
Just do it.
It's okay.
And
it's
one more plug is that because I worked at the City of Hope Cancer Hospital, a lot of people who get bone marrow cancer are little kids. And this is a life-saving treatment for them. I'm talking about this can extend their life 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So you're actually giving someone a whole life.
Yeah.
Not just like another 5 years, like a pancreas or like a liver, right? And I would participate in the bone marrow transplant annual meetup. So all the kids, all the now adults or the adults who survived the treatment meet up, and they wear a pin saying how many years they've been in bone marrow. Another feel-good story.
Feel good.
Overload.
Let it roll. Waterworks.
And so these people would wear pins saying how many years they've survived bone marrow transplant. And you'll see these kids with completely bald with the face mask and the gown, and they'll be like 6 months pins because they've just barely had the treatment. Then you'll see young, robust adults, 15 years.
Wow.
But the most awesome thing is to see the 25-year survivors come back, and they're like older.
Wow.
So inspiring, right?
It really is. It really is. I mean, you can be a part of that. So anyway, I was really touched by that story. So I wanted to share that. What is,
we will put that in our show notes as well.
Yes, you shall. What about you, Wanru? What's your second story?
All right. So my last story, it's kind of related to the one you just told. So I'm just going to piggyback on that.
Yeah.
And again, now we're doing another PSA. But a woman, her father passed away, unfortunately. Her father was older, but he passed away. And his organs were donated, as was his wish, to various people. And his heart was given to an older gentleman. Caucasian gentleman. I wish I had the names. I didn't look it up before. I apologize. But she asked, because you can always, how should I say? The donor can allow people to contact them. The donor's family can have an open, what do you call it?
Line of communication or disclosure.
Exactly. So that the recipients of the organs can contact the donor family. So the girl that was getting married, she contacted the gentleman who received her father's heart, and he agreed to walk her down the aisle.
Oh, give me a break with these stories.
Oh my God. Woo. Give us a moment. We need a break.
It's horrible. Yet great at the same time.
Okay, what?
That's horrible, yet great at the same time. Oh, this is horrible. Okay, so don't watch the YouTube in case you were planning on it later. Because we're a hot mess right now.
I'm going to get her name right now. So we're going to take a little break to
That's wonderful.
recuperate. Keep talking. I'm going to look up the name of the woman here.
My goodness. That's something, isn't it? Well, I mean, I think that, isn't it that if you drive or if you have an ID card with any state that you're a part of right now, at least in the United States, you can state on your driver's license that you are a donor. I mean, worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, if you haven't signed up to be a donor and, you're comfortable with that, you should definitely sign up to be a donor. You could definitely save someone's life and they can live on in the next person. Isn't that nice? I mean, not to be morbid here, but
here we go.
But why not?
Let me ask you though.
This is taking a strange turn on Christmas.
Haven't you ever heard that, if you're going to look at your donor card and they're not going to save your life? Haven't you heard that before?
What are you talking about?
And that's why no one wants to be a donor.
Why?
They think that, when you need an ambulance and you're like trapped under your car,
they'll be like, no hurry.
They're like, can we see your license? Donor card, you guys. Just take your time.
Yeah, just kind of drink your coffee.
Go to Starbucks.
That's horrible. That's not true.
Okay, so I finally got the details. So,
okay.
Jenny Stepian's father was killed due to a gunshot wound. He was robbed.
Oh, horrible.
Okay, which is horrible. And the person was convicted, but their family made the decision to donate his organs. And she saved the life of a man named Mr. Thomas. And, again, because some agencies allow people to contact each other.
Yeah.
And she got in touch with the man who donated her heart. And Arthur Thomas, agreed to walk Jenny Stepian down the aisle. And at the very end, she reaches the aisle. She turns to him and she just puts her hand on his heart.
Give me a break with this story.
Well, I'm not laughing. She's
trying to stop herself from bawling.
And that's what I sound like when I'm trying not to cry again. Is I just hoot and holler, and I'm fanning myself as well.
Aw, poor Bubba.
You know what?
It's all good stuff. It's because you're just so touched by the kindness of people.
People
right?
are amazing.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's amazing how, like this other story that I have real quick. I don't know the details. I don't know the details. But this little 8-year-old kid, right, saw all of the stuff that were going on with like the kids being torn from their families, right? Anyway, and he decided to do a lemonade stand.
I'm laughing uncomfortably right now.
Because you're gonna bawl?
This is a quickie. I'm getting ready for the punchline here.
No, this is a quick story.
Okay.
Just about as far as like this little kid, right? The power of these kids, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
These kids, so even though we joke about it, they're amazing. They teach us a lot.
He was upset by the migrant families being torn
apart.
apart.
The footage on TV of these children being torn from their families.
Yeah.
And he was so struck by it that he wanted to help them. So he set up a lemonade stand. And a bunch of people just bought a bunch of lemonade from this kid.
Yay.
And he ended up raising like $13,000 from lemonade. Right?
How much was he charging?
Starbucks prices.
Was this in Bel Air or something?
I forget where, but I'll get the
Okay.
details. I'll attach the link on the show notes.
Yeah.
$13,000 this little kid raised to help a nonprofit which is helping reunite families.
Aww.
So I thought that was really wonderful. I think that if you ever think that you can't make a difference, think about this little kid and his little lemonade stand.
Think about that lemonade.
Yeah, there's a lot that people can do to help each other out. I think that we need more of that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all like,
or what?
Let's sit in front of the Yule log with the kittens.
Well, we hope you
felt good.
you felt good.
Took a really strange turn.
We hope you felt good about that.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you guys. We love you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
This is going to be a good one. Normally, under our Dream Sponsors banner, we talk about organizations or products that we wish would sponsor our little show here. But in the spirit of the holidays, and since today is Christmas, we wanted to talk about if we were in a situation where we had a ton of money, a ton of resources.
We're talking like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Eli
Jeff
Gross.
Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff
level.
Bezos. Yeah, money.
Warren Buffett money.
Oprah money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What would we do with that money in terms of giving back to society, the community? So Wanru, for you, if you were Bill and Melinda Gates or any of these folks, what organization or causes would you want to donate to?
I do donate to this organization, and it's not glamorous, and it's something you take for granted. It's like the DMV, but I would donate to local public libraries.
Yay!
Specifically to the cities of Alhambra, San Gabriel, Rosemead, Temple City. And that's it.
Arcadia, did you say?
No,
they don't need it.
I was debating
Just
about
kidding.
Arcadia, but
they rich.
Sorry, San Marino.
Sorry, Santa Anita Park.
Santa Anita Park has a
Horse Racing Park is in Arcadia.
Oh, I see. No, I don't know if they have a library, but I will not donate them to them because they're getting plenty of money from the gamblers. But they do already get some resources from the government. But I visited many libraries, and they could always use a little extra zhuzh. They could use a little extra boost of support and resources. And the reason why I picked the libraries is the people that are there, I always feel sorry for them.
Oh, why? Because they only have 5 books? I've read all of these. All of a sudden, they're Southern.
No, because, Like they're using the computers there. I know they don't have a computer at home. It's students doing their homework there, probably waiting for their mom to pick them up.
I see.
Right. So people use that as a transit or a place to chill out, usually, or get something done because they don't have any place else to go.
Oh.
You know, like elderly people reading the newspaper, maybe semi-homeless people. I see them as well sometimes there. And they're totally welcome at the library. You know, everyone's welcome at the library.
Right.
So... And then there's people like me who are, you know, I can pay to buy the book, but I just want to be a minimalist. And I stick by the rule of owning only a few books. So I love going there and getting free books and reading them. And it's just a great resource for everybody.
I love that.
So I would give them money to kind of improve what they have, make nicer computers. I would probably demand them to build an outdoor garden as well.
Nice.
Because, you know, I'm a diva. So I'm just going to be like, I need an outdoor garden with a water feature.
Topiaries all around.
How much is it? $10,000. That's fine. I want it in the shape of a teddy bear. You know, I would just be totally demanding because I want everyone to have a nice outdoor space to chill out in. Oh, I just figured it out.
What's that?
I just want to be like Mr. Huntington.
Oh, from the Huntington Gardens?
Yes. There's a place here in LA called the Huntington Library and Gardens. And it was his home.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful palatial, like...
grounds.
It's beautiful. And that was his house.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. But now it's open to the public. You have to pay to enter. But it's open to the public and it's hard to believe that one person had that many resources, right? And now everyone can enjoy it. So that's what I want. I would want a little touch of the Huntington Library at every single public library. And that's what I would do. That would be my dream sponsoree.
Dream sponsoree. That's right. Dream sponsoree. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio grew up in Los Feliz, right?
Yes.
He went to Marshall High School, which is like the high school in Los Feliz. And Los Feliz is actually not too far away from where I grew up. I grew up in Silver Lake, California. And I remember during his Titanic days, like when he was really, really like popular and famous, he donated a bunch of money to Los Feliz to build a library.
Aww.
The Los Feliz Library, which still stands. It's a beautiful library on Hillhurst, I want to say. And Hillhurst.
That's amazing.
Avenue. And I remember being very happy that he did that. Because when I think about like so many, like, you know, the people in pop culture, right, that you see out there, the George, what's his name? Clooney's of the world, the Brad Pitts of the world. I'm sure they're giving in their own way that we just don't know about. But I felt like here was a local boy like Leonardo DiCaprio giving a library, which was always like my dream to like have a library named after me.
Right.
But I would call it the Duchess Golda Library, even though I wasn't a duchess.
How about this? When I give my money to, let's say, the Rosemead or whatever local public library, they will have to dedicate one section to you. It'll be like Duchess Golda's Young Adult Fiction Corner. Do you like that?
I thought you were going to say something else, but okay, yes.
What did you think I was
like the adult section?
No.
Don't name that after me.
Young adult.
Okay.
Young adult fiction.
Okay.
Or do you want the DVD?
I want the periodical section, like the magazines, where the magazines are.
Okay, that's fine. I could do that.
Because that's the first place I go when I go to the grocery store. I go to the magazines aisle, check out the latest episodes.
Then
issues.
I will definitely. It'll be called what is it again?
The Golda periodicals. Ooh, that's got a nice ring to it. I'll take it. Done. Sold. Can we get that in writing?
I will have my lawyer talk to your lawyer.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's lovely. I love that.
So yeah, I wish I could be like Leonardo.
Yeah. I don't know how active he is though in it. Now that I think about it, but I love that.
I just have one more little thing.
Yeah.
So George Clooney and Amal Clooney.
My twin, Amal Clooney.
Like they're like clones of each other. Golda and Amal.
I know. I get it all the time.
God, you could just indifferentiable.
Yeah, I'm at Del Taco and they're like, "Are you Amal Clooney?" I'm like, "Would Amal Clooney come to Del Taco?" No, I'm not Amal Clooney. Calm down.
She's so tired of people asking to take a picture with her. It's just exhausting.
It's really, really another job.
So it was George Clooney and Amal Clooney.
Yeah.
Or was it you? I think it was Amal.
I think it was her. I don't remember being with George Clooney. But anyway.
They adopted their basset hound from the San Gabriel Valley Humane Society.
I did see that.
I saw it on their freaking Facebook page.
I love that.
And dude, George looked like George, all scruffy, and Amal looked like a goddess.
Of course.
She's wearing like bell bottoms. And
bring it back.
And platform shoes. And I'm like,
yes,
she's wearing
girl.
bell bottoms to the San Gabriel Valley Humane Society?
That's what you do when you adopt.
Yeah.
You just dress to the nines.
And they looked adorable, and they're kneeling down with their new basset hound.
Give me a break.
God, I want to barf, but I'm so happy for that dog. And
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
George and Amal.
Makes me want to gag. All right. What about you? Who would you be your dream sponsor?
Well, I was thinking about this, and I feel like there are so many organizations out there that are absolutely worthy of so much attention and resources and funding. So many. How do you choose, right? And I feel like if I were to look at a category, to focus in on, I think what I would like to do is to help women and girls and young girls. That find themselves in situations where they either aren't economically able to support themselves or where they need mental help.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of organizations out there that do this. And I remember there's one organization that helps homeless women on the street, and they're right here in Pasadena. I'll find the name and I'll include it in the show notes. But from my understanding, homeless women are at a very high degree of danger.
Yes.
Than homeless men are. And I think people don't realize that out there, that it is very dangerous just being homeless in and of itself. But when you are a female and you have kids and you're homeless, that's yet another thing. So I think that anything where it would help in support of women and children and young women, get out of their dire straits, that would be great. There's so many. I mean, there's so many organizations that do this. It would be very hard to try. I think I'd want to sprinkle a bunch everywhere.
Yeah.
Just to be able to capture that. But I feel like that's the community that I would focus in on.
That's amazing. And I'm sure for all of us, if you take some time and think about it, there's probably one category that kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit, right? So it's for George, he loves animals.
Yeah.
George, I call him by his first name, George.
Yeah.
So George loves animals. So he's adopted all his animals, including like a huge pig. He's got like a pig in his backyard. So I'm sure all of us have that soft spot. So whatever it is, don't forget them this Christmas.
Yeah. And if you can volunteer or provide some sort of financial help or assistance or even resources, if there's anybody you can connect these organizations to, I think that would also make a difference as well. There's so many different ways to help.
Yeah.
So that's who we would, or the organizations or groups that we would sponsor if we had the money. But we still do in our own little ways, and every little bit counts.
Yeah, totally. Wow, Golda.
Whew. Man. I think we need to retitle this episode.
What to what? Emotional roller coaster.
Emotional roller coaster. I wasn't aware I had these tear ducts.
Let's call this episode "I Am Verklempt."
Yes, I think we need to rename it.
Oh my god, my ovaries are bursting. My heart is bursting. My heart is bursting with happiness and good feelings towards my fellow man
and woman.
Yeah.
And they.
Yeah. Yes. And so as you look back on this episode, Golda.
Yes.
Woo, I mean, there's so many things. What will you take away?
So many, many, many things. I would say that there are plenty of opportunities for you to share in your good blessings. There's plenty of ways to share that. And in giving to others, you're also helping yourself. So in whatever way, it's around you. So whatever strikes you as important or something that you feel like you're compelled to do, by all means, give back. And that's the primary thing. And the second thing I would say is that the next time that Wanru offers to twirl me around
by your armpits,
I'm going to tuck in my knees so that I do not hit any unassuming child that may be within the radius of my twirling. So stay clear, public citizens.
I've learned a lot.
Yes.
I've learned a lot about twirling people since then. Okay, Golda,
You've got a system in place.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm much better at it now.
All right,
I haven't
all right.
had any injuries since
Okay.
1997.
I'm not signing any waivers.
Well, that's wonderful.
What about you, Wanru? What are you taking away?
Well, what I will remember is that story you told me about the woman who sings, and she sang to comfort people who were at the end of their lives.
Yeah.
And you said that you have the skills. It's so interesting. You have those simple things to make people happy.
Yeah.
And you also said, look around you because there are opportunities
Yeah.
to make people happy. And I'm looking
I'm hearing a setup.
and I'm looking right at you, Golda.
All righty.
And I'm looking right at our producer, Gertie,
Yes.
who's 2 feet away from me.
Yes.
And did you know I'm sitting next to 2 of the most talented women musically that I know?
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Really?
interesting.
Really? And no, but really, they do have beautiful voices.
Aw.
And I coerce them. I actually use my master manipulation skill. That's my gift to the world. You're welcome. Noel. Season's greetings.
Noel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right usage of that.
I'm
Is it?
manipulating
I don't know.
people. I'm subconsciously manipulating people to start using that word.
Okay.
Noel. What's
All
up?
right.
Noel. So, in the Noel spirit,
Yeah. 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 I'm following. I'm with you.
Golda, they always print that on the card. They write Noel.
I think that means something else. I think that's like a Christian something. Anyway, we'll fact check all of
They
this.
print Merry Christmas and they print Noel. So I say to people Merry Christmas. So why can't I say to people Noel?
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
You know
No,
what I
that makes sense. I think that's
totally
good. That's
wrong.
good.
Totally
That's
wrong.
good. Yeah.
Anyways, I have manipulated them into singing us out of this podcast. So as we wrap up here, instead of, basically promoting ourselves and talking about all the great ways with which you can keep in contact with us, which we still love to hear from you, you are actually going to be treated to a lovely song from Gertie and Golda.
Impromptu.
And for those of you who are listening on the podcast, please enjoy the song. And for those of you who are watching on the YouTube, we will actually display the websites of the organizations that we support and that we talked about during this podcast. So if you want to see or hear the organization, see the organizations listed and hear Golda and Gertie, please check out our YouTube. And lastly, let's just say season's greetings. And Merry Christmas. We love you guys.
And we'll see you next year. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep